Hello, hello, hello. A very warm welcome to all our friends, viewers, stakeholders, fans of Africa Rise with Susan West. It is, of course, another beautiful Sunday here in London. And I do hope that wherever you're joining us from, that you're having a pleasant day and that the sun is out and your mood is up. And of course, the conversation we're going to be having today is not one that is going to make you want to feel so elated, but these are very important issues that must be discussed, and more light must be thrown on it because there is need for Nigeria to find herself in a place where she needs to be. And today, my guest is going to be Mr. Timi Frank. When he comes on board, he's going to tell us a little more about himself, and we will carry on with the conversation. But before I bring my guest on, please do the needful as you join this broadcast, share this broadcast, send in your questions and comments as you may have them. And of course, if you haven't liked, followed, or subscribed to our channels, please do so. It is Africa Rise TV on YouTube, Africa Rise TV on Facebook. That's our brand new page. And it is Africa_Rise.tv on Instagram. But allow me to play some footages of yesterday's protest all around the world. At least a few of them we will be able to show here. Back home in Nigeria, in the United States of America, here in the United Kingdom, the thousands and thousands of Nigerians took to the streets to protest June 12, which was supposed to be a day of so-called Democracy Day, a day that was set aside to commemorate the the election of Mr. Chief MKO Abiola, who was never allowed to become president of Nigeria, even though he won that election in 1993 on the platform of the Social Democratic Party of Nigeria, SDP. I still remember that. I was a teenager at the time, but it is vivid in our memory. And so today, June 12 was supposed to be a day to commemorate Democracy Day, a day where Nigeria for the first time could boast of an election that was free and fair, where nobody came out to buy anyone's vote. People came out and casted their vote for the person or the man they thought was fit for the job. And then that man was denied the presidency for reasons best known to the people who decided that he must not be president. But today, yesterday, Nigerians took to the street all around the world to use that day to demonstrate, to protest against the, killings and everything that has gone wrong with the Nigerian government and the Nigerian society. Just allow me to play one or two footages of what went on yesterday. You can see that as the protests happened in the diaspora, you can see how the governments in these countries respected the rights of the people who live here and the citizens, of course, some of them, to protest. But I'm going to play another clip to show to you what happened in Nigeria on ground for people who wanted to protest or who came out to protest. And then we will carry on with our conversation for today.
Tried to separate the protesters from journalists, saying that the protesters are beginning to infiltrate the group of journalists and are mixing up. So because of that, they had to fire canisters of tear gas. At least 7 canisters have been fired. It's difficult to see out here, and the shots are continuing. So now on the road, you can hardly find anybody. Everybody's leaving the road. There's more police presence on ground now. We've had to put on our ID cards so that we can be differentiated from the protesters, but that is currently the situation on ground right now.
All right, Ben, if you can't hear us, we saw a banner at the beginning. We saw a banner at the front. Please, Ben, get to somewhere a bit safer.
Can you get to a safe location?
Please, if we don't have to see you, that's fine. We can see the visuals. But we saw a banner at the front of the group that was on the road.
Police is
can you
going
tell us
after the protesters, if you can hear me. They are being chased. Thomas, take the shot, please. Protesters are being chased down by police. If you can see that, the police are actually shooting guns. They are shooting guns.
Okay, Ben, we
not
really
just tear gas now, they're actually shooting. We cannot tell if these are rubber bullets or these are live rounds, but you can see the police now trying to apprehend some protesters. Yeah, and that's it. One protester has been apprehended right there. He's been taken away. Our camera has been blocked, and we've been told to stop recording these shots. We have to move out of sight now.
Please move.
But we're still recording. Thomas, keep rolling.
To a safe distance.
Keep rolling. All right, more vehicles are coming. Step out of the way.
All right, we're asking you to keep rolling, but please do it safely, Ben. Move over, move away. If you can't keep rolling, but please do it safely.
Have run.
Yes, that's just to give you a little bit of a feel of what happens in Nigeria. Nigeria is supposed to be a democracy, but what you saw happening there, does that come across to you as a democratic society? With that being said, welcome everyone who's joined us. One Mbike Alad from YouTube, Eden Kaseta, my brother from Uganda. Thank you for joining us. King Kenyada, welcome. Awuni John, welcome. I'm going to quickly bring to screen our guest for today to carry on with today's conversation in earnest. Hello, Mr. Timi Frank. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for honoring our invitation in such a short notice. First of all, please just go ahead and introduce yourself, what you do, what you represent, and then we'll carry on from there.
Anyway, thank you very much, my sister. And I want to say a very big evening to you. And I want to say good evening to Nigerians and good evening to the entire African continent. For those ones that are watching, today is going to be a very interesting day. And my name, is Comrade Timi Frank. I'm from Biafra State, part of Nigeria, from the South region, the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. I used to be the former spokesperson of the ruling party, the APC. Not until I resigned my position as the spokesperson of APC in 2017. When I left, I resigned willingly because I felt, the amalgamation that brought us together as a party, different parties that makes up APC, in 2014, 2015, that we won that election. I decided to quit because I believe APC wasn't a party that, deserves my person. So since then, I decided to remain as a political activist, not just in Nigeria, but for the entire African continent. Because I think the continent of Africa needs people like me, need voices like me, the same way we have voices like Julius Malema in South Africa, the same way we have voices like Bobby Wine in Uganda, the same way we have our leader, Professor PLO Lumumba, that is the major leader, for every one of us in the African continent. So I decided to offer myself, to join the league of these leaders within the African continent to ensure, we speak for the voiceless within the African continent. We speak for the voiceless of the people of Nigeria. And I think so far, so good. That is what I've been doing. And let's go to the main issue right now. Yesterday was meant to be a democracy day in Nigeria.
Yes.
But it wasn't a democracy day in Nigeria. It was just a madness of a senseless government who does not believe in democracy.
Mm.
When I mean a senseless government who does not believe in democracy, this same government are the biggest beneficiary of free and fair process. General Buhari was a product of a protest. I remember when we did protests in 2014, led by General Muhammadu Buhari and all the characters of APC, people like the current governor of Kaduna State, Malam El-Rufai, was in that protest. I can tell you a lot of people that took part, in that protest. The current governor of Yobe State, that is now the acting national chairman of APC, was also part of that protest, including myself. I was also part of that protest. And when we were protesting against the then government, that PDP was doing all kinds of injustice and atrocities to Nigeria in 2014, under the PDP leadership, we were allowed to do our protesters at that time. I think after PDP, that is when we lost democracy in Nigeria, since APC came to power. Because in 2014, when we did that protest, Jonathan was a very calm and nice man. He allowed General Buhari to protest. We even went to the police headquarters in Nigeria, in Abuja, and no policeman shot one bullet, whether by rubber or real. No policeman threw tear gas on us. We were allowed to express ourselves because then we felt the then government was not doing the needful, the then government was not doing what was right. And we said, no, we must go out to the streets to exercise our democratic rights. So today, when I see protests in Nigeria, whenever the people try to protest for their rights, the same general who benefited from protests today does not allow that to happen. He doesn't want anybody to criticize his government. It shows very clearly the man is just a civilian by name, but a military by blood.
Great.
Since General Buhari became president, no protest has been successful in Nigeria without killing protesters or arresting protesters. And it is sad for me. I want to use this medium. Well, this is Africa for you, not just in Nigeria that we see things like this. Our leaders in Africa are all dictators. They are dictators. They don't want anybody to question them. They are emperors. They are mini gods in their
I'm going to pause you there. I'm going to pause you there. Our leaders in Africa are all dictators. They're emperors and all these names you have to call them. In your own words, you said Jonathan was a kind and nice man. You are a Bayelsa.
No, that was then.
Let me finish. You are a Bayelsa. You're an Ijaw man. What was it about Jonathan's government that made you think you were going to join the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's faction, the Rotimi Amechis, all these people to protest against Jonathan's government? I'm not in support of Jonathan's government. I'm asking a genuine question. What was that was so wrong with the PDP government under President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan that made you and your colleague take to the street, protest, and make sure that you took him out of office in 2015?
Well, as at when we did what we did in 2014, it's not just me, it's not just the leaders, but it was like a unanimous arrangement that Nigerians, as at that time, were tired of the corruption under Jonathan's government. Nigerians were tired of his style of governance as at that time. But because some of us did not have the spiritual powers to know who would be a good or a bad leader, unanimously, Nigerians also yearned for change. They said they needed change. And we were just leaders who tried to sell a product that was bad, that we didn't know that product was bad. If a lot of us knew that General Buhari would have been a bad product, we would have not sold Buhari. Let me give an example. Somebody like me, I've came out clearly, this is not the first time, and I'm still going to do that on this show. Because I know, compared to the Jonathan that we thought that was weak, that was bad, if you assess Jonathan today and assess General Buhari, Jonathan is not a military man. He was a democratic leader. But if you compare Jonathan today, his government, and you compare General Buhari's government, I will tell you clearly, Buhari's government has made Jonathan's government to be a saint as of today. We thought there was corruption under Jonathan, but today we have the grandfather of all corruption in the history of Nigeria under General Buhari's watch. Today we saw insecurity when Jonathan was president. Then the insecurity situation was just limited to the Northeast. But today, under General Buhari's government, the entire country is not secured. The entire country is not safe. So there is a difference between the PDP government and now the APC government. You can't argue it anywhere in the world. So
it's clear.
Some of us then, yeah, so to some of us then, we never knew we were going from fry pan to fire because we felt those corruptions we were seeing. I was one of those who were campaigning against corruption under Jonathan's administration. I fought against corruption.
Corruption did not start with Jonathan's administration.
No,
why was it made to look as if he was the originator and the creator of corruption in Nigeria? I'm gonna come to something. Okay, I want to quickly take a read from YouTube, which is from King Kenyatta. Says, in my opinion, the word democracy is not beneficial to the indigenous people of the continent. We need our own way of dealing with each other that is not European centric. Ubuntu, he says. Wanne Mbaik Alad says, it's expected from the Buhari presidency. It would have been a surprise if protesters were allowed to protest peacefully. We have to keep pushing. Nina's approach is the way forward. Do you know about the Nina's approach?
Well,
do you know about the Nina's approach? Okay, no. There are a group of people who've come together to look for a peaceful way for self-determination for the indigenous people of Nigeria. So since you don't know about them, I'm going to put it aside. But what is your take on this? The call for, some people will call it secession, but some people will say it is self-determination, the Oduduwas, the Biafrans. Where do you people stand in the Niger Delta?
Well, the Niger Delta, we're still studying what is happening in the country. Because I must tell you clearly, if the Niger Delta decide to take a decision today of where we want to go, it's going to be unstoppable. I can tell you clearly. And we're almost getting there. The Niger Delta, for now, we think that we cannot also cope with the current configuration of Nigeria. We are demanding that, look, Nigeria must be restructured. That's the only way we can remain as Nigeria. We must restructure the country.
You're still interested in Nigeria as Niger Delta? You're still interested in remaining in Nigeria as Niger Delta?
Because well, like I said, it's not my opinion. Like I said, it's not my opinion to decide whether we remain. I might have my own opinion. For me, my own opinion, the way the country is today, if this country is going to continue like this under the watch of General Buhari, that will keep oppressing my people, that will keep killing my people, that will keep doing all kinds of bad things to my people. In my own opinion, I might be one of those that will convert to go. Because we cannot say we are one Nigerians and a general somewhere in Daura will sit and preside over my people, kill my people, arrest my people, when we've not seen him arresting those that are trying to break Nigeria. Those, his family members, that where he comes from, that has come to destroy what has been built for years. So for me as a person, if the time comes, whatever my people decide, I'm going to be in support of it. And like I said to you, in a short time from now, the people of the Niger Delta is about to take a decision. We are seeing where the Oduduwas are going. We are seeing where the Biafras are going. We have nothing against that. But as a region, meetings has been going on in recent times. Stakeholders, leaders of the Niger Delta, which anytime from now, the position of the Niger Delta will be declared known to the Nigerian states. If we are going to join or we are going to remain, that decision will be taken. But I think these governments, I know, they will keep pushing us to that wall that will make up to facilitate our position. And I tell you, General Buhari does not have any plans for this country called Nigeria, because he values his cows more than the citizens. General Buhari believes in cows. He wants to give the cows in the northern part of Nigeria the best of life. He wants cows to sleep in an air-conditioned rooms in 5-star hotels, but he wants the human beings of the regions to be killed by security forces, to be killed by the police. And that is why whenever you see protesters out there in the streets, the senseless police people will shoot at those protesters. The military men will shoot at those protesters. But we've seen in a scenario where cows will be moving in the middle of streets in Lagos, in Abuja, in different parts, in the main road. In fact, even cars will be giving them their ways. You will not see any military man or a policeman shoot at any cow in Nigeria. Yeah. But if Nigerians converge in a place to demand for their rights, the military will show up in that place, the police people will show up in that place, the DSS people will show up in that place to kill people who are coming to fight for what will benefit even them as police people. I want to make it very clear, I'm very, very disappointed with Nigerian police. I'm very, very disappointed with Nigerian DSS. I'm very, very disappointed with Nigerian military. These are people that are suffering. Call a policeman in Nigeria. Some of them does not even have food in their house to eat. When they send them to the streets, they will go there as baboons and zombies that they are, the way Fela would describe them. It is very clear that they are zombies from what the kind of act we've seen Nigerian police and military. We don't need to call them police anymore. We should be calling Nigerian police zombies of the police. We should be calling the military zombies of the military. Because how come they will give you directive. You go to the streets. People that are protesting for the government to do what is right, to give you lights, to give you education, to give you road, to give you housing, to give you infrastructure, to give you, good health. People that are fighting for the government to increase your salary. Those same people are the people you go out there to kill. Look at the protest in London. The police people give the protesters a safe backing. We saw the same thing in America. We saw the same thing everywhere in the world. Our people can protest outside there, but they cannot protest in their homeland. What kind of country is this? This is not democracy under General Buhari. This is not what we are witnessing. And the cabals sit down and fold their hands and say, to hell with Nigerians. We're in power, we're in charge. Like I said, the time is coming that the Nigerian people will wake up from their cocoon and from their sleep. We've not yet woken up. I can tell you clearly, the same thing IBB said, I quote, he made it very clear that Nigerians are not yet ready. That if Nigerians are ready, they will chase away any government. Because it was Nigerians that chased away him when he wanted to remain in power. And that is true. So I believe we are getting there. And I want to thank those my brothers and sisters back home in Nigeria who were on the street yesterday. Despite the intimidation, despite the oppression, they have the guts to still come out. They might not be so much, but I'm proud of them. They did what they are meant to do. They came out despite the oppression by the senseless government, despite the oppression of the senseless police and DSS and military who try to arrest and kill a lot of people in that country. So the sky is going to be our limit very soon. I believe, we will celebrate at some time. I believe we are going to do everything to back our brothers back home. And let me tell you, my sister, every one person that this government has killed, that has been in the streets, they will pay dearly for it. Remember, some of them are going to leave their position anytime soon. Some of them are going to go on retirement. We are compiling names right now as I speak. We are compiling names of security officers within the police. We are compiling names within the DSS. We are compiling names within the military that has illegally killed protesters in Nigeria, that has illegally arrested protesters. I bet you we might not succeed back home to deal with them for now, but I can assure you we are going to deal with them internationally.
Right.
They cannot go scot-free.
Absolutely.
They cannot go scot-free.
They will never
go scot-free. Those people that killed, those people that did that massacre in Lagos, in the NSAS protests, till today as we speak, the government have not done anything to SARS.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
When you say we are compiling names, who is the we? Who are you referring to?
Like minds in Nigeria, like minds. We are working. I don't need to mention names, but I can tell you we are not sleeping. We are doing a very due diligence work, and very soon we are going to put our pressure on these persons. We are going to ensure people under Buhari government, mark my word today, mark my word, they know, a lot of them knows. Right now as I speak, they are scared to go to London. Government officials are scared to go to London. They are scared to go to America. Very soon we are going to confine them, let them remain in Nigeria, because the minute you start seeing government officials outside Nigeria, Nigerians will call them thieves in the streets where they are trying to go to. When we see them coming for medicals, Nigerians will stone them in the streets, who said, go back home. So that is the only way, that is the kind of treatment I'm telling Nigerians in diaspora to prepare for. If you see a minister under General Buhari's government, if you see a minister in London, if you see a minister in America, if you see a minister in Germany, if you see a minister in Spain, any part of the world, stone that minister, call him a thief. Hold that minister responsible for the killings of innocent people in Nigeria. When we start doing that, they'll be scared to travel. When we start doing that, they'll want to sit down and do the right thing. They'll want to sit down and advise the government and go to the president and say, Mr. President, we can no longer go for medicals anymore in London. Nigerians are not allowing us to sleep. So therefore, let's do the needful and give the people their rights. Yes. Until we do things like this, they will continue to loot our resources. Today, corruption is order of the day.
Yeah. I want to ask you, why are you able to speak up when a lot of people who were like you, who joined the APC, believing that they were the change Nigeria needed, are timid or too scared to come on platforms like this to speak? Why are you able to speak?
It's because I'm a young man. The future lies in people like me. Some of them are going to go on retirement anytime soon. I still have more political years by the grace of God to live. I still have more things to do for my people. So I don't want to be like, look, listen, those leaders that are keeping quiet, people like Bola Ahmed Tinubu who are keeping quiet, they are not keeping quiet because they love Buhari. They know Buhari has failed. Every one of these APC leaders, let me tell you clearly, I used to be in that party and I know very well. I used to be in that party. El-Rufai himself knows Buhari has failed. Amechi knows Buhari has failed. You can see times with that number. You've seen discussions of Amechi on social media, how he's talking about the incompetence of General Buhari. So it's not that they all know very well that General Buhari is incompetent. They know. But they're only taking advantage of his government to loot Nigeria. Because they know the man is not aware, the man is not mentally fit, the man is incapacitated, the man is like a vegetable right now as we speak. So what they are doing with General Buhari's government is to acquire wealth. They've bought almost all the houses. When you come to places like Europe, you go to places like other African countries, you go. So they've bought, including in Nigeria. These are people, when we came to power, a lot of them were broke. But today, the story is not the same. I can tell you people that are in Buhari's cabinet that were already gone. These are people who all work together. So, but I decided to take whatever position I've taken today for the interests of the Nigerian people, for the interests of young people. I could have as well sat down and become one of the sycophants, being a deputy spokesperson of a ruling party. It's not a joke. I could have sit down there.
Now, because you said that, I'm going to challenge you on this. You're a young man, full of wisdom. But won't we begin to question your wisdom if you didn't see what some of us saw when the APC government was bringing Muhammadu Buhari to represent them? I will tell you, I was also offered to become a spokesperson of the APC in Rivers State, and I turned it down. This is the first time I'm saying it in open space. I turned it down because I didn't believe that, not because of the name APC, but the person, the man, because I was alive. I was in primary school when Muhammadu Buhari was a military government president. If some of us could see that Nigeria did not need a Buhari, what was it that you people who are now disagreeing with him and coming out of that fold, what was it that you saw that you thought he was the answer for Nigeria?
Let me tell you again.
Because we want to trust, when finally we get to that point, we want to trust you and the people like you to take us to the promised land. Why should we have faith in your judgment?
I want you to have faith in my judgment because I've shown that I'm responsible. I've shown I have integrity. I've shown that I'm a man of the people. And let me make it very clear to you. APC came together with 3 other different parties. ABGA, part of ABGA, the AMPP, the CPC, and the then new PDP that was like a fraction from PDP. We were the new PDP that made Buhari president. For me, as Timi Frank, I never supported Buhari when we were doing that amalgamation. We have a Buhari and we have an Atiku Abubakar for us to choose as at that time. I know very well that Buhari wasn't the best. I worked for Atiku Abubakar. I voted for Atiku Abubakar. Within the party, I campaigned for Atiku Abubakar. Because as at that time, I know, how can you keep a Buhari and keep an Atiku, and people went and elect Buhari over Atiku Abubakar? It was because we have some certain leaders within the APC that time that felt Atiku Abubakar is too powerful. Atiku Abubakar is a rich man. Atiku Abubakar is this. So therefore, if we vote for Atiku Abubakar, and he become president, we are going to be powerless. But if we vote for Buhari, who is a pretender, who believe he doesn't have one dime, who believe it's for the masses, if we vote for Buhari, we can easily penetrate his government. We can convince him to do what we want to do. So some of those leaders, for their own selfish reasons, took part to conspire against Atiku Abubakar. When Atiku lost the primaries, I can tell you clearly, Atiku lost that primaries in Lagos at the convention ground. 2 nights before that primaries, if the votes were free and fair, Atiku would have won that primaries. But like minds, we are convincing everybody, people like Amechi and co, and Erufa and co, says no, they were going to governors, going to everybody saying, don't vote Atiku. While some of us were campaigning that Atiku is the best person for us. I did everything I could. A lot of the leaders are alive. Whatever I say here, these were the true reflection of how Buhari emerged. I never voted for Buhari within the party. I never supported Buhari. Let me say something today that I've not said publicly for the first time. I remember a particular night, I had a meeting when we were going through the process of electing Buhari. One of our leaders called me and asked me, Timi Frank, what do you think about Buhari? What do you think? I know Atiku is your person, but what is your view? And I told that leader in his house. I can even mention his name if I want, as at that time. And I said, sir, if you ask me, that leader asked me of 3 persons. He asked me about Atiku, he asked me about Konkoso, he asked me about Buhari, because these were the 3 major persons in that race. And I said to him, I remember this was 2:30 in the night. And I said to him, sir, I'll be very honest to you.
Feel free to mention the name of the person who's asking you. It shouldn't be a secret.
Well, it's not a secret, but I can tell you clearly, it was the former Senate president. Because he's one of the major leaders.
Former Senate president. There are many former Senate presidents. Which one of them?
Former Senate president. So,
no name?
I said to him, don't worry. When I said that, Nigerians knew who was the former Senate president at that time. You know, it's my boss, my friend, my leader. So, but then I told him that night in that meeting, I said, let's not do Buhari. Oh. If we do Buhari, sir, you are going to be the first casualty and first victim in Buhari's government. That I'm telling you, it's better you stick to the Atiku you know, no matter what. Atiku is somebody that listens and will give everybody the opportunity to contribute in his government. But if you go for Buhari, if that is what leaders have decided, no problem. You're my leader, I will follow. But remember that I told you to your face, you are going to be the first victim if Buhari became president. What happened when a government was formed? Truly, truly, my prophecy or my words came to pass. He became the first victim. When he wanted to become Senate president, that was agreed before the elections that this man was going to be Senate president. After Buhari got his own, the first person he dealt with was this man. Meanwhile, this is a man that wastes his time, his resources, his energy.
Now let me come to this. Why was it agreed before even an election that somebody should be a Senate president? If a young person like you, who is supposed to see us into the future, is still thinking that it's okay for something to be agreed upon, even before an election is happening, that somebody should be handpicked and say, this person is going to be. Why?
It's not issue of handpick, because we just believe that we decide to say, because whether you like it or not, you must have aspirants. There must be somebody who contests with you. We just believe from our own angle that he is qualified and he was going to be the best candidate for us. So it wasn't unpicked. It was a decision that this is the person, so that any other person in this group should not bring somebody further. So that whosoever that is going to run with him should come from any other part of it. But as a people, we felt this candidate is our candidate. So that within our group, we shouldn't float any other person. Agreement should be respected. It's like that in a political party. It doesn't mean that there will not be contests. We're just trying to present the best. And I was one of the only persons, when the chips were down, that fought and supported that candidate, because I said there was nobody that can do this job. And I'm happy. Today, everybody saw the 8 Senates was one of the best ever in history of Nigeria under his watch. Since Senator Bukola Saraki left as Senate president, the Senate is now full of Hallelujah boys.
So it was Senator Bukola Saraki that we were talking about. So thank you for.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
now
I must tell you clearly.
Now let me ask you. The APC and the PDP, are they a dead platform? Political platforms, as far as the next generation is concerned, in moving, whether it still remains Nigeria or there's an Oduduwa nation, whether there's Biafra, whether the Ijaw, Ishekiri, and all these people come up with their own nations.
Whether it's going to be a dead platform, I can't decide. It is Nigerians that will decide what platform will be dead or
it's
alive.
not a decision. In your opinion, what should happen to these people? Because everybody in the APC and the PDP are one and the same, as far as most of us are concerned.
Sometimes they might be the same. You're very correct. But there are individuals that are better than one another within this family. There are still, no matter how APC or PDP is bad, we still have some handful of persons that still have good intention. If they have the opportunity to serve, they might be different from what we are getting. We still have leaders like that. So am I not totally right off? You understand me? The both parties. But as of today, we have to deal with what we have. If we have to deal with APC or PDP, if you ask me, from my own opinion, APC is a dead party. Because no party that has brought pain to its citizens like APC, PDP has been in power for decades of years before APC came on board. But if you assess the APC rule for just 6 years now, and what PDP has done for 16 years before they left power, what APC have done for 6 years has overtake what PDP has done for 16 years. So if you ask me, these two parties, Nigerians, 1,000,000%, we still want to go with the PDP than going with the APC. APC is a satanic party, and that is why I've apologized to God and I've apologized to Nigerians that please forgive me for taking part, for bringing a bad product and a wicked product, an incompetent leader to lead you guys in 2015. And I believe God has forgiven me for the fact that I could come out to tell the whole world that I am sorry. I never knew because I didn't have the spiritual powers to know who will be bad and who will be good. As at that time I took that decision.
None of us
knew. It was a time that Nigerians wanted something new, wanted something different. And I was in line with the principle of Nigerian people. And that is why for somebody who was holding a very high office within the APC, and I've appealed to most of my leaders in the APC who made this government to come to stay, to apologize publicly. Not just apologizing, also apologize to the former President Goodluck Jonathan, which I have done. And I'm still apologizing that President Jonathan should forgive me if I should work against him. But as at that time, I needed to do what was right, that the people wanted. It wasn't just my decision, but it was a decision. It was like a consensus decision by Nigerian people who casted their votes. So, but today the story is not the same. More people have died under General Buhari's government. More people are in pains under General Buhari's government.
Yes.
People cannot feed anymore.
Good.
Today, Nigeria is the capital headquarters of poverty in the world. It should have not meant to be like this. Our economy is decaying. It's sad where we find ourselves under the watch of General Buhari.
Right.
Yeah.
That brings me to want to ask you this question. As a Pan-Africanist yourself, you know, not so long ago, President Magufuli of Tanzania passed away. And then people began to dig in to understand this person, the Magufuli, as a person. And then we came to understanding that the system that brought Magufuli into power was a corrupt system. But Magufuli came and he rose higher. He lifted himself above what was expected of the system that brought him into power. If you look at Nigeria, be it APC or PDP, because you were talking about there are good people in the family, even though the entire system is corrupt, but there might be good people. If you look at the APC and the PDP, I'm saying the APC and PDP still, because whether or not the APC is dead, the same people crisscross, to the two parties. If you looked at it with your experience, your exposure, your relationship with these people, is there a Magufuli there that is hidden somewhere that we haven't seen? Who amongst these old people in the political system would you say could give us a Magufuli effect?
Like I said, first of all, Magufuli is a unique kind of human being in this modern day generation. Magufuli was like a godsend, not just to the people of Tanzania, but for the entire continent of Africa. Magufuli is somebody whom does not believe in publicity. who does not believe in media, but his actions were speaking for him, that the entire continent we're talking about Magufuli. Magufuli have an agenda before he came to power. He has a plan, he has a strategy. He was a Democrat. He has a principle. So it's very rare for you to see somebody like Magufuli in politics. Magufuli is the kind of person that has the ideology of our founding fathers of Africa. His mentality was mentality of people like Kwame Nkrumah, Thomas Sankara, Nyerere, Patrice Lumumba, Modibo Keita. I can go on and on. Nelson Mandela, his vision is different from the today leadership of most of the dictators. What we have in Africa continent, majority of our people are dictators in their various countries. So Magufuli is like a total different person. Yes, we might have one or two persons that might have that agenda, but the opportunity, you know, must have not been given to them. That I know very well.
Potentially speaking, with your experience, I want to know one name.
I just don't want to start mentioning names when it comes to issues like this, because I'm a political activist. I don't belong to any party right now. I mind, but we are going to shop for somebody like Magufuli in the next election. That is one thing I can tell you. We are trying to assess the names of those that are indicating the ambition to be president of Nigeria. But I will tell you clearly, we cannot have the worst again. That will be bad or wicked, like General Buhari leading Nigeria. God will not forgive us if we elect another incompetent person again. And we know God loved Nigeria, otherwise Nigeria would have been collapsed by now with what is happening today in Nigeria. So I will tell you, you know, we are going to do our best to ensure that we bring somebody that will come and redeem what Buhari has done.
Now you're talking about looking for people who can come, persons who are from the people who have shown interest, who will come and what's the word now? Revive Nigeria or resuscitate Nigeria or just save Nigeria generally.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, you sound like you believe in this Nigeria that most people I know don't believe will believe that is a failed state. You're still talking about Nigeria with an idea that
for now, until there is breakup or there is any issue, we are still Nigerians. For now, if you listen to my words, for now, anything can happen overnight tomorrow, and the scenario will change. So I want to speak with what we have now.
Right.
When the time comes and the story changes, we'll follow the tides. But for now, whether we like it or not, if you ask an American, they will not tell you Nigeria is AYZ. They will tell you the name they will mention is Nigeria. So I'm speaking on that context that as of today, it's still being called Nigeria. It has not been changed to AYZ. This region has not officially gone to bear the Oduduwa or the Biafra or the Niger Delta.
Or the United African Republic.
You said what?
Or the United African Republic.
That is Buhari's agenda. That is not Nigeria. That is not the people of... he knows what he's looking for. A man who has not been able to unify his house. He wants to talk about African continent. And that is why when I see him, it's like a blind man going to treat another blind man. I don't know where he's going to put the injection. Or in the you know, and you can see a man that his own house is catching fire. He has not called the AU. He has not asked AU to bring an envoy to come and reconcile issues in Nigeria. But he's going to get AU to go to Mali. He's going to appoint an envoy to go to Mali. For God's sake, Mali's situation is far better than what is happening in Nigeria. Mali's situation as of today, I don't think any continent is suffering from what Nigerians are suffering from today. Nigeria is the most oppressed nation today in Africa continent. Buhari is the #1 dictator.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Why can't the AU as a body, and let me make it very clear, The AU must intervene in the issue of Nigeria now, or they should never get involved when the time comes. We will never embrace or respect any decision from AU, because the AU seems to be keeping quiet. The ECOWAS seems to be keeping quiet. Whether we like it or not, what is happening in Nigeria, there is war going on in Nigeria. In a country where people die from morning to night, every day, you can calculate in the entire country, minimum at least 500 people lost their life every day. We are not seeing any comment from the AU. We are not seeing any comments from ECOWAS until the thing leads to a total blown war in the country. You start hearing AU sending flights. We are going to reject their flights when that time comes.
Yes, I'm going to just quickly take another read, if possible. Ada Linda Okafor says, thank you, Timi Frank, for speaking up still. Respect, Timi Frank, she says. And Johnny Boy from YouTube says, greetings, Susan West and guests. There is a comment that I wanted to take. King Kenyatta says, God willing, Buhari and his collaborators will not make it to 2023 because we can't wait till then for change. That's what he says. And Awani John says, if Nigeria is free, Africa is free. The Western world knows something about this happening. Absolutely. You did mention, I have mentioned on this platform so many times, my disappointment, or I have expressed my disappointment with the ECOWAS led by Nana Akufo-Addo of Ghana. And of course, the African Union with, what's his name now? Musa Faki. You know, the truth of the matter is we know that the AU is a toothless bulldog and will only do according to what the puppet masters tell them to do. So that is a fact. Now, what is happening in Nigeria, from all the telltale signs, we can see that the Western powers are not interested in coming in to help salvage the situation. As a young person, as a Nigerian, as a comrade, as a Pan-Africanist, what are the strategies that you and your colleagues or people in your fold have in place to make sure that the hands of the Western powers is forced to do something, to say something, to speak against the ills and the evil going on in Nigeria? Because if Nigeria fails, it will adversely affect the rest of Africa, because like they say, Nigeria is over 200 million. Where is 200 million people going to go to that will remain stable and have an economy that thrives?
Well, like I said, the situation back home in Nigeria is a disaster. Whether we like it or not, Nigerians, we need help. We cannot do it alone internally right now, because the opportunity for us to do it alone internally is not being given to the Nigerian people. The only way we could have expressed ourselves is by going out to call for protests, to call for change of government, the way we've seen it happen in every other place. But we don't have that opportunity as of today for that to be done in Nigeria, that because we have a wicked system who does not believe in democracy, they just want to keep oppressing the people. And the only option we have, like I said, first of all, you know, we've tried, some of us have tried to see if the AU, first of all, would have come in and called General Buhari to order to say, look, we are following up with the antecedents of what is going on in Nigeria. Things are not going well. Nigerians are dying on a daily basis. There's no continent right now that the citizens lost their life on a daily basis like Nigeria. What is happening? They are not asking any question. The ECOWAS, the same thing. But do you know why? It's because majority of them are like General Buhari in their various countries. Majority of them. So you don't expect these leaders to come and criticize what their fellow colleague is doing. Today in Africa, I can tell you clearly, you know, even when it comes to development or infrastructure or opportunity for the people of their various countries to benefit, I can tell you, you can't mention more than 3 countries. You can't mention more than 3. Maybe a country like Rwanda, where Paul Kagame is doing all he can to make sure his people are happy. You can't count when Magufuli was alive. I don't know what this new woman is going to do. If she's going to follow Magufuli footsteps in Tanzania, you cannot exonerate Tanzania from giving a good leadership. You cannot also look at the same way scenario of where maybe I think the Prime Minister Abiy in Ethiopia is also doing well for his people. So you can say you can limit those leaders within the continent that are doing well compared to majority of the country. Is it Ivory Coast you want to talk about when the issues there that Alassane Ouattara and the rest of them are doing dictator, they impose themselves back to power. We saw the same scenario in Guinea, in most of the parts in Africa. The same attitude of General Buhari. This is what most of these leaders are doing. So, but for we, I've made it very clear they can suppress the voices in Nigeria, but they cannot silence my own voice. Some of us have freedom to speak and move around. We are not going to fold our hands to allow our people to die back home. So I can tell you clearly, some of us are doing a lot behind the scene. Like I said to you, I'm going to be in America anytime from now, sometime end of this month. I believe we are still going to have this discussion when I'm there. We want to see those that be in power. We want to take our case personally to let them know you cannot keep quiet, because the Europeans will suffer it if you keep quiet. The Americans will suffer it. With the population we have in Nigeria, go to the embassies every day. People want to run and leave the country. If we're not in war, tell me why Nigerians, they're escaping, they're running. They don't even care they're going to die in the sea. Every truck you see in the waterway and the international shores is full of Nigerians. For a rich country like Nigeria, why is General Buhari being wicked to the people of Nigeria that has confidence in him in 2015 to vote for him? These same people that voted for him in 2015 felt we cannot continue with this man in 2019. General Buhari did not win or come back to power with the vote of Nigerian people. He lost that election clearly. I can tell you without free. I can tell you for free that General Buhari lost 2019 election. And that is why he's been wicked to the people, because he knows the people never voted him back to power. And it was sad after stealing the election of the people. Atiku Abubakar behaved like MK Abiola and says, no, but in my own time, I'm not going to fight. I'm going to follow this thing legally to ensure that my mandate must be given back to me. That Nigerians trusted me and they voted for me. Atiku had a lot of pressure, I can tell you, as at that time, to put Nigeria into crisis. But he said, I will not. The only way I can fight my mandate is to follow the proper democratic process. I will go and challenge my victory in court. But getting to court because we do not have a judiciary in place. The 3M of government is being subjected to General Buhari's stooge. When we went to court to challenge the mandate, when it gets to Supreme Court, that was the fastest case ever in the history of Nigeria that has been decided. In less than 20 minutes, the case was thrown out. Because you have a stooge that General Buhari put as CTN of our country that nobody sees, whether it's alive or dead, I don't even know if we have a Supreme Court judge in Nigeria today. And that is why every one of them, including the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, who trade the vote of the Nigerian people, must apologize to Nigerians. Do you know why General Buhari returned Professor Mahmoud Yakubu again? That was like a reward for stealing the election for him. Mahmoud Yakubu stole the election for General Buhari. And that is why it was the first INEC chairman that was returned for a second time. So a lot of things is wrong in Nigeria today. The police will rig the election. The military will rig the elections. When they rig the election, INEC will announce. Then the judiciary will affirm it. This is what we saw in the last election. So General Buhari is ruling right now with bitterness. He's ruling with strong bitterness because he knew the last election he was not voted for. So therefore, I'm going to punish the Nigerian people. And that is why Nigerians are getting this punishment. that there is no food for the masses to eat anymore. Kidnapping is order of the day. Banditry is order of the day. Fulani S-man has taken over our country. Boko Haram has taken over the country. And when they kill people every day, the government will issue a statement on unknown gunmen. Who are the unknown gunmen? The unknown government that is killing people, General Buhari and his government. So they know that they are the ones behind and responsible for what is happening back home. No government, till today as I speak. Have you ever seen where they say they arrested Fulani terrorists?
Never.
Have you ever seen that they are showing them in television that they are trying these terrorists, Fulani terrorists, for killing innocent people? We've not.
Never.
Never. So what are we talking about? It's easy. It's easy to arrest a common man on the streets who is going to demand for good governance. It's easy for them to try people who are agitating for the cause and betterness of the Nigerian state. But those that carry guns to kill people on their behalf, nobody is trying them. They are not in detentions. Go to the prison yards of Nigeria today. Everybody you are going to see are peaceful Biafrans campaigning for their rights. Go to the prisons and peaceful Nigerians that are protesting maybe for Oduduwa today. Go to the prisons and innocent Nigerians who came out during the NSAS period to protest. These are the people in our prison. You will not find the looters and the killers in prison. You will not. So what are we talking about? So this is politics of bitterness. It's politics of payback. Tell me, have you seen?
And much more than bitterness of trying to get back at the people who didn't vote for him is also the of course the speculation of the Fulanization agenda of Nigeria. I'm going to quickly acknowledge some people, and then I'll ask you take a few more moments to round up for today. Johnny Boy says, AU can't function with Musa Faki because he belongs to the West. Absolutely. Hala Hala says, thank you so much, my sister. Johnny Boy says, Susan, AU can never function as long as Musa Faki, aka Downpresser, continues as a leader. And Johnny Boy says, facts to me. And go Obi Man, of course, and Johnny Boy, Kiseta, Eden Kiseta, and well, I have acknowledged as much as I can take today. Finally, on the premise of the June 12th protest, on the premise that you're a Nigerian, that you are a Pan-Africanist, that you're a comrade, on those grounds, I want you to talk to Nigerians who are calling for self-determination. Nigerians who are the Oduduwas, who are the Biafrans. At this point, there are much more people calling for self-determination, but we haven't been able to give them a name. For instance, there are people from the Middle Belt who want self-determination. We're not sure whether they belong to the Oduduwa or the Biafra. But
I'll tell you very clearly. I'll tell you very clearly.
To Nigerians generally.
My sister, I'll tell you very clearly. Everybody that is asking for secession, for breakup, for any name you want to call it, they are very right. They are very correct. As a person, I'm in support of them. If Nigeria as a nation is doing what is right to benefit every region, nobody will say, we want to go. The pain is becoming too much for people to bear. The pain is becoming too much for people to bear. So if today people decide to say they want to go, it is their right. I believe in it. Even me, I'm going to make a pronouncement very soon. I'm waiting for my people to take decision anytime from now. It's not going to be too far. I'll tell you clearly, the Icho people where I belong from, the Niger Delta people where I belong from, in a short manner of time, we are going to start our own agitation. And if that happens, I can tell you clearly, Nigeria can never remain as one. Nigeria can never remain as one. We have the economic strength to frustrate that country as a Nigeria, where I come from, the Niger Delta. And that is why we are taking our time to observe, to see if there will be changes within a short period of time. If there's not going to be changes, we can get up tomorrow and say we are joining the race of saying that we need a Niger Delta Republic, or we are going to join any of the republic. So General Buhari should be very careful with the way it's going. If he's not careful, God is going to do his wish very soon in that country. Nigerians are praying every day. Nigerians were like an orphan today. We are seeking for help that we are not getting. Nigerians on their knees from morning to night praying, because you don't know when you are going to see food after now. You don't know if you are going to sleep and wake up without Fulani herdsmen coming to burn down your house or your community. You have a government who will just sit down and allow you to die without protecting you. I pray to God that we should not get to that level where the country will explode. But I'm telling you, Nigeria is sitting under a time bomb that is about to explode. The incompetent man that is sitting down in that villa does not have an idea of what is happening. Whenever he comes out to speak, he angers the Nigerian people. Can you see his speech on the day of democracy? No leader will speak that way. That was the most disappointing speech I've ever seen. Millions of Nigerians abroad are disappointed. We're expecting hope from our president, not hopeless. As of today, everything that comes out of Buhari's mouth and the APC government is hopeless. So for me, I want to encourage Nigerians to stand firm, that this is the time. We must stand as one. We must not allow this incompetent and barbaric and satanic government to keep oppressing us. We must not give up to the struggle. I'll tell the Biafrans not to give up. I'll tell the Oduduwa people not to give up. The only way they can give up is only when we start seeing changes overnight. That might take us to see, let's give a chance if Nigeria will remain as one or not. But as long as this oppression is keep going on, Nigeria should remain with the agitations. At the appropriate time, the will of God will be done. And I can tell you, we are going to be happy people someday. And for APC as a party, I can tell you, this is going to be the last time they will come to power. They are not prepared to win the next election. They are prepared to steal the election again. They have no plans to conduct free and fair election. And that is why you see from now, they are trying to put a military chief that they can control. The man they put there, chief of army staff today, is not meant to be there. He's meant to be an Igbo man. But because he's meant to be an Igbo man, they say, oh, you Igbo people, you are not a Nigerian. We cannot give you chief of army staff. And that is why they brought their own from the Fulani land to come and take over. So that the next election, they will impose it again on us. But that is if Nigeria is going to remain as a country till 2023. Whatever plans they are planning for the Nigerian people, God will reverse it to them. And some of them, I can tell you clearly, their partial treatment will happen to them. We believe so. Something will happen in that country. We are not going to give up. We'll keep agitating for our people.
Right.
I have so many threats from the government angle today. But I said it is only man that can take my soul, not human. It's only God, not human. I have issues of they are going to repatriate me back to Nigeria. They are going to use the Interpol to bring me. I'm not a criminal that the Interpol can get me arrested. I've not committed any crime. The only crime I've committed is to fight for my people.
Absolutely.
If there should be anybody that should be in jail right now, it's General Buhari and his people.
And they must end up in jail.
Oh, they will.
Jail in this life or in the afterlife.
Buhari should learn that today, where is Chancellor? Chancellor did all he did in Liberia. But when the time comes, where is Chancellor today? Where is Laurent Gbagbo of Ivory Coast? So I'll tell you something. General Buhari, if he's still alive till then, he's going to join them in prison without fear or favor. He has committed a lot of genocide, atrocity in Nigeria. All his service chiefs will be held accountable. Everybody. We are putting a petition to ICC as I speak. In the next few months, you are going to see our protest on daily basis in ICC. We will keep protesting to ensure that Buratai must be faced with criminal crimes. So, my sister, we are keeping the struggle alive. We are going to keep talking. We are going to keep doing everything, not just to save Nigeria, but to save the entire continent of Africa.
Africa, absolutely.
Africa needs rescue. And I can tell you, we might be lone voice, but when the time comes, we are going to see changes. There is time for everything. There is time to live. There is time to die. There is time for everything. And I'm telling you, the time is coming to an end for these bad leaders we have that is oppressing the people.
Absolutely.
And by the grace of God, we are going to achieve victory.
The time, they've come full circle. They have come full circle. Their time is up. And like you mentioned, the truth is that the very first time a call was made for self-determination in Nigeria, it was made by an Ijaw man, by Adaka.
Oh, yeah. Adaka Boro, yes. And today that has come to stay. And that is why I said
was
to you,
arrested. And of course, in the process, he lost his life. The truth of the matter is the marriage, the foundation of the marriage or the amalgamation, whatever it must be called, was wrong from the very beginning. And that is the reason that as far back as then, Adaka Boro called for the self-determination of the
Remember, it was the people of the Niger Delta that rescued Nigeria as a country because of Adaka Boro at that time. And that is why I'm telling you again that we are taking our time from that region to take a decision. Because when we take a decision from that region, it's going to be unstoppable. So it is we now, the people of the Niger Delta, that will decide if Biafra is going to go, if the Oduduwa will work and everything. They are just waiting for us to blow the whistle. And if that is done today, I can tell you nothing on earth that can stop the countries to go their different ways. So General Buhari should not come. Nigeria has never been divided. Nigeria has never been divided the way it is today. Buhari has brought sentiments into governance. He has brought nepotism into governance. Look at every appointees in his government. It's just one-sided. The people from the south is eating crumbs, and they are clapping out for him.
Yes.
And those people from the south, we know them and we are watching them.
Right.
All of them that are partnering today, taking side with General Buhari will pay for it from the Niger Delta region. We know them.
Amen.
Some of them very soon. They will remain in Abuja, they will not come back home. Yes.
I say amen to that.
We are watching them.
On that note, I know that I will definitely want to bring you back here again. We have to continue this conversation until freedom at last. Yes.
Very important. Like I said to you, I believe I'm going to speak to you while I'm in America to update you of what we are doing. I will be leaving by end of this month. I'm going to sit down in America to ensure, not just me, but like minds, to put pressure and wake up the international community, to put pressure and wake up the United Nations. Oh, United Nations, you cannot sleep when Nigeria is catching fire. Oh, you American government, you cannot sleep when Nigeria is catching fire.
But they're not sleeping.
Your complaints are the biggest complaints in the Niger Delta where we come from.
Their silence is golden.
Chevron is there. Don't keep quiet and allow injustice to happen. We'll go to the French government and let them know you have a total in Nigeria. Your company is benefiting. Why are you keeping quiet with the oppression from the wicked and satanic government of the APC and General Buhari? We are going to wake them up if they are sleeping. The time to rescue that country before we break up is now or ever, or otherwise the entire world will feel the impact, because you have a lot of refugees out of Nigeria going to seek for asylum in Germany. They'll be going to seek for asylum in the United States of America. They're going to be seeking for asylum in Canada because there'll be nowhere for them to go. So if they want that to happen, then they should go to sleep. But I believe, and I will praise the American government for one thing. The American government has not totally kept quiet with what is happening in Nigeria compared to the British government and the European government. Every day we'll definitely see people speaking out, whether you like it or not. They are speaking out from the United States. We saw so many comments from the Secretary of State. We saw so many comments from a lot of leaders from the United States. But we've not seen such kind of support, especially from the British government. The British is the problem that we have. And they must wake up and stand their feet.
And I must tell you that what gives the Buhari administration the impetus, the authority, the audacity to continue this madness and genocide is because the British government have not said anything publicly against the
Thank you
government
very
of
much. That
Nigeria.
is why I said I'm commending
Yes.
the American government for what they are doing for us. I'm commending Joe Biden. And I can tell you clearly, Joe Biden will do very great for the Nigerian people, because these are the same people. It was during their time that Buhari emerged as president. So Joe Biden, no, that is why during the NSAS protest, we saw Hillary Clinton making comments, we saw Joe Biden making comments, and other figures in the United States. I can tell you the United States government will give us all the support we need to ensure that Buhari must stop killing the people.
Yeah.
That I can tell
I wanted us to round up, but I'm going to quickly take some comments that came in just now, which is something I also wanted to mention, which is that we have had 6 years of APC. When you're talking about waiting to see any kind of change, WNTV says, after 6 years, what can change? How can you say you're waiting to see a change? Like, seriously, he's asking. AM says, I saw that speech of his. It sounds so illiterate. AM goes ahead to say he's like a dead man walking. What a disgrace. The truth is, the Niger Delta, by providence, because of where we are situated, have the power to make sure that certain decisions are made swiftly, which is because the oil is in our area. We have access to those areas. We can use what we have to make sure. So what is it we're still waiting for? What is it we're still observing after 6 years? What is it the Niger Delta is still waiting for to take a stand or a stance against what is going on in Nigeria?
You are very correct. But I think it's better to take a decision unanimously than to take a decision on a divided house. You know, we still have some people from the Niger Delta that are benefiting from the wickedness of General Buhari. Remember, you still have people like Timi in this government who are bigger beneficiary. You have people like Timi from Bayelsa in this government. You have people like Godswill Akpabio from this government. You know, all these are the saboteurs and betrayers of the Niger Delta region that are eating and whining and dining with General Buhari. So these people have looted a lot of resources, a lot of funds. People like Rotimi Amechi, you can see all the billions of allegations that they are calling his name and his wife's name. So that kind of a man will do everything to ensure that General Buhari will remain in power for them to complete and secure their loot. You can see people like Godswill Akpabio that is using the NDDC today, the Niger Delta Development Commission, to enrich himself. He will not want to give up that place. You can see the Minister for State Petroleum, Timi Silva, this was somebody that was having the EFCC case after he left as governor. This was somebody that, you know, the EFCC seized over 48 of his properties when immediately he left as governor. But this same government has given him back those properties that were seized. When he was a governor, he uses the taxpayers' money and the resources of the people of Bayelsa State to acquire all of this property. And this same government today that is Minister for State Petroleum is not representing the people of Bayelsa, but it's representing his own interests. With saboteurs like this, what do you expect? What do you expect for us to, you know, come together as one in that region? So these people will keep using their resources to inject to a lot of our persons. But I will tell you, majority of the Niger Delta people are waking up from their sleep. Majority of them are still waking up. Majority of them will wake up because we are calling on them to wake up. That time has gone for you to keep quiet. And that is why you saw the recent incident and threats from Tompolo. When Akpabio refused to form the board, leaders like Ike Clark and other leaders from the Niger Delta and the Ijaw region has been shouting, including the governors of the region. Akpabio never listened. It took Tompolo to issue a statement, and the federal government was jumping. Those that are beneficiaries of General Buhari's government within the Niger Delta were all jumping. Today, as we speak, they said they are going to compose a board. So I can tell you, we are trying to come together to ensure that majority of the people will be on one side and let the minority remain with the satanic government that led by General Buhari. So I believe in a short time from now, the Ijaw people, the Niger Delta people will take a position. And when that time comes, I repeat, it's going to be too late to reverse.
I do hope
so that is why
they come to that point really
and
soon.
Some of us will keep pushing on them. I talk to Chief Ike Clark time to time, and I tell them that they must wake up from their slumber. And they're all waking up. Ike Clark has been very vocal as an Ijaw leader and a leader from the zone that we all come from. He has been very vocal.
Yes.
So when you start seeing elder statesmen like that start waking up from their sleep, you know we are getting somewhere. So I want to appeal that, you know, a lot of our people should give us a minor time and a decision will be taken. It can be tomorrow, it can be next month, it can be any time from now. We're almost there and we're going to take that soon.
Thank you. I just want to say very big thank you. Thank you. I love your spirit. I love, you know, the truth of the matter is that we are in the same category. We're just different people, different faces, different voices. But like you mentioned, we need more voices like Papa Clark. I know Papa Clark. I've spoken with him a few times, and I do understand that people like that need to raise their voices. They've lived their lives. What is there to be afraid of again? This is the time. He's always raised his voice. They should continue to raise their voices and make the young people understand. And finally, I am going to say my own final words for today before we call it a day is that I'll take a reference from the Bible. I have said it here on this platform before, again and again. When Pharaoh was asked to let the people go, the people of God, he said, God himself hardened the heart of Pharaoh so that Pharaoh will finally be brought to, be defeated. So this is the point where people who are spiritually sound might want to interpret the fact that General Buhari's deafness to the calls of Nigerians, of Africans, people all around the world, to the injustices, to the genocide that is happening in Nigeria, will finally be the catalyst that will bring Nigeria or Nigerians, present-day Nigerians, to that place where they ought to be, which is finally freedom at last. Freedom
the man is not just deaf. The man has dementia. So, and that is why some of us believe he should take a bow and go and take care of his health, take care of his dementia problems. Because if you speak to General Buhari, I'll tell you clearly, if you speak to General Buhari now, go back to him in 10 minutes. He has forgotten.
So he doesn't have capacity. So, if this is a fact that he has dementia, it means that Major or whatever he was in the army lacks capacity. You cannot hold accountable a man who lacks capacity. You cannot
tell me for a man that says he's a general. Listen, for a man that says he's a general, small group called Boko Haram has held Nigeria for 6 years under his watch. Small group. This is a man that
you mentioned the cabals as well. You mentioned the cabals. We know now it's open secret that he's not in charge. And of course, if it is a fact that he suffers dementia, he's a man without capacity who cannot be held accountable. You cannot hold a man without capacity.
The few time he comes to his senses, the few time he happens to recognize or he comes to his senses, if he's somebody that means well for the country, would have said, no, I want to go, I can't stay anymore. I can't allow these people that...
But he lacks capacity. But he lacks capacity.
That is why corruption is out of the day in this government.
To make decisions for himself, not to talk about the rest of Nigeria. So on that note, I don't want this broadcast to go on for too long. We will come back again as soon as you get into America and whatever information that is updated, we will come back again to talk about it, let the people know. Thank you, everybody who was able to join us. Johnny Boy, thank you. Obi-Man, thank you. Kesita, Eden, thank you. WMTV, everybody, thank you for joining and sending your comments as you did. Thank you, Timi Frank. I really do appreciate you. And please, we will catch up on the other side.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. My Ijaw brother. All right. So I just want to say a very big thank you. And if you haven't liked, followed, or subscribed to our channels, please do so. If you're watching from YouTube right now, press the bell button, subscribe and press the bell button when you do, so that you are alerted when we do go live or when we post any new materials. If you're watching from our Facebook page, please remember to like and follow our page. Thank you everybody who has taken part in today's conversation. Johnny Boy, thank you so much. Yes, Ubuntu, like they say, you know, we have to stand together, like the French people have a way of saying, ensemble nous pouvons, which means that together we can. Together, the African spirit, you know, you hold my hand, I hold your hand, we walk together. I am because you are because I am, and together we will rise above and conquer, and that will be the story of Africa eventually. Thank you so much, and I will see you next weekend. God bless you. I will announce who our next guest is going to be as we go into the week, as we do it usually on this platform. Take care and God bless you. Bye-bye.